All right, y'all, in today's video, we're finally gonna be going over how to wrap the guides onto the rod. It's not too tough. It's just a little tricky whenever you're first doing it, but once you do it a couple times, you get the hang of it. So as far as supplies, obviously, got our guides, masking tape, and all you're gonna do with those is kind of what I did here. I just wrapped it around just to hold it in place before you get some thread on it. On this side, I wrapped it all the way. And then on this side, I don't know how easy it is to see because it's all black, but I left as much as I could sticking out and taped it as close as I could to the center of the eye, just to leave a little foot, because we're gonna start wrapping on this side. And then burnishing tool, scissors, razor blade, and then obviously our thread. And then whenever you're taping the guide on, I don't know if you can see the mark we made whenever we were measuring it, but the eye is right in line with that mark that we made. So let's get to it. So whenever, let's see if I can scoot this, probably not. Whenever you're threading this, you'll go through that first little hole first. You'll come up through there, the middle, and then here. And I'm gonna show my mess a little bit. Oh, half hidden away. But whenever your tension is correct here, whenever you're pulling here, and this is pointing 90 degrees straight back at your body as it's coming out. So that's perfect. Roll this up a little bit. Okay, so the only really tricky part is at the beginning. And so it's easier if I just demonstrate than try to explain what I'm about to do. So I'll come over here. We're pulling out. We pull out about a foot long piece. And all we're gonna do is wrap it once with your hand and twice. So all I've done is I pulled a bunch out and wrapped it with my hand twice. So now this is the, I don't want to say tricky part because it's easy, but the part you need to pay attention to is, so this is on the left side. All we're gonna do is pick up right here, and all we're gonna do is just switch it, cross it over to that side, make it like a little X. So what I like to do is come over here, pinch this side with my finger. We'll pick this end up, cross it over just like that. And then kind of with my fingers in my palm, I'll start rolling it. And then this tag end, you wanna make sure that you don't wanna go have it out here. You wanna make sure that you're wrapping it each time. So, boom. So now we have the tag end kind of pinched right there. And then once you do that, you just wrap. And I don't know if you can tell in the video, but I have this set up farther back this way, just a little bit. It's not straight up and down. It's pulled this way, just a little bit at an angle. And what that does is it helps keep the threads packed tight. If I had it over here, you can see that little gap opening up. It'll wrap real loose. So I have it pulled just a little bit past being straight up and down. And then you want to wrap it, however many times. We'll call it 6, about 6 times. And you can take your scissors, snip this little tag in. Just be careful not to cut your main line. So now we're coming up either on this wrap, one more. So we're about to come up on the foot. And that's another part where I kind of have a little trick. So whenever it's about to land on the foot, I like to pull just a little bit more slack out to help it lay right on top of that foot, just like that. Because sometimes it wants to slip off the foot or go underneath it or something crazy. So we are good. And just like before, once it's going, we're going. So we're just gonna start wrapping. And how it's kind of spaced apart right there, we're gonna take our burnishing tool, just pack it down just a little bit. So if we make our threads just a little bit tighter. Now we're coming up on our tape. Now this is another tricky spot. Just because you don't want to accidentally pull your eye off. So we're going to carefully untape our eye. And just get back to wrapping. I'm gonna pack up here. And just keep in mind, because sometimes this can slide back and forth. So you just want to be sure that your angle is just a little bit less than straight up and down. And that'll pack them on real tight. And then whenever you get right about where there's about that much left, so maybe about 1/8 of an inch, you can take either your tag in, or I like to use a different color thread just because it's easier to visualize. Pull you off, I don't know, about a foot, 8 inches. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna take it and make a loop, just like that. And you're gonna put the loop in the direction that you were wrapping. So for example, we're wrapping this way, so the loop will be facing this way. When we do this foot, whenever we come to the end, the loop will go this way. But since we're going this way, we're gonna get a little loop like this, and I like to put it on the bottom just because I like the top and the sides to look perfect. So all we're doing is we went underneath. We're just gonna kind of tuck it in those threads, just like that. And what that's gonna do is eventually when we get to the end, we're gonna pull our little tag in through there and pull this, and it'll pull right out and be clean. So just get back to wrapping. I like to go slow here. Need probably, I don't know, four in the minimum, 6 if you got the room. Let's see if I can squeeze one more past his eye. Yeah. Okay. So take a moment, make sure we got everything good. Make sure you punch your stand. Okay, so this next part can be a little tricky because if you mess it up, then everything comes undone. But if that happens, no biggie, you just wrap it again. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pinch this, hold a little tension, and up here, I'm gonna unroll some slack. I'll cut here, take this end, and we'll go up through here and pull through here. I know it doesn't really make much sense, but just watch. So I'm pinching here, and I'm not pulling, I'm just holding tension. Come up here, I'm gonna unroll it, get some slack. Cut it. So if I was to let go with this finger, it would all come undone. So that's just why you have to be careful. So I'm gonna take my finger, I'm gonna pinch everything so we can let go. And we're gonna come up through the bottom. And I like to just kind of, I can't really put in the video, but I basically just kind of pulled it underneath my finger. So my finger right now is holding everything. And we're gonna take our two loose ends of our loop we tied in and just pull. So now you have a little tag end hanging out. And you'll take your razor blade, make sure we're tight, pick it straight up, and then when you put the razor blade on it, lay it almost flush, and what you'll do is you'll pull the string into it and it'll cut it flush. Make sure you have a sharp razor blade. So I got it there, kind of push it into each other, boom. And that's it, guys. Take your little burnishing tool, make sure everything's nice and packed. And then I've learned that if you take the rounded side and just kind of carefully run it over here, it'll also smooth things out. And that's it, guys. So I would do the exact same thing here, and just on the rest of the rod. I'll show y'all one thing real quick. It's pretty obvious, but so if you were doing one with a single foot, obviously this one's nice because I can just tape the mess out of the side and it keeps it steady. But I'm gonna show you how I like to tape a single foot. So what I've learned I like to do is I'll take the tape and I'll put it dead center, as close to the front of the eye as I can, leaving the little foot out. And I tape it like this in the middle, and I just hold the two ends like this, and I stick it like that, and pinch it over itself like that, and I pull and squeeze it as hard as I can, and that ain't going nowhere. Just because sometimes these little ones, you'll start to wrap it, and it'll, as you're wrapping, it'll be sliding out. But this method, I think, holds it the best on there. Yeah, that's it. So in the next video, I'll either go over how to put the rod tip on, or I'll go over how to add little decorations. But that's it, guys. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to comment, like, and subscribe, and thank y'all for watching. See you on the next one.